Well, thank you for joining our live stream today. I'm really excited to talk to you.
Of
Um, First, we'll just do introductions. So I'll start. My name is Angel Bautista. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm the Senior Digital Strategist here at Just Solutions.
Yeah, my name is Janice Williams. I use she, her pronouns. I'm hailing from Richmond, California, and I am the Executive Assistant at Just Solutions.
Awesome. So I'll go ahead and also introduce Just Solutions for those who aren't following us already. So Just Solutions is a BIPOC-led national climate organization that partners with communities disproportionately impacted by climate change to turn their priorities and ideas into policies and laws. We draw from community-created solutions and invest deeply in innovator states where justice-centered organizations and coalitions have demonstrated vision, strategy, and political power to win and implement climate policies that strengthen their communities' health, economic security, and resiliency. All right. So starting off with an icebreaker question today, and it's funny because the question is, what's your favorite springtime activity? I must have just forgotten that today is the first of spring. So if you want to go ahead.
Um, I would have to say being able to really enjoy outside eating. I know that a lot of times, like we're like, oh, I want to sit on the patio, but the weather is like up and down, especially in California. But that's one of my favorite things, just to be outside and enjoy the sun.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I think like in the wintertime, you're holed up a lot at home,
Yeah,
not really outside and whatnot. And so like in the springtime, you're able to like do picnics again and just
yeah,
like do stuff.
for sure.
I I think for me it's similar. I was thinking about how in the springtime I start doing a lot more bike rides
Hmm.
and like, bike riding to coffee shops and get myself a little and stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, it's just a good time to just be outside and enjoy whatever that looks like. Hiking, I love hiking. So it's just a good time where it's like when you start, it's cold, but when you end, it's like a nice, the sun is risen and everything is just so nice.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love this. I love this springtime energy.
Yes.
All right. So today we're going to talk a little bit about your just background and just a little bit about getting to know you and then kind of just an idea and thoughts about like climate justice in general and how we can like all really play a role in the movement. So first, we'll just start off with if you can tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah. So I am from Richmond, California. I've been an executive assistant for about 5 to 6 years, different fields. This is my first time working in a climate justice company, but it's been super exciting because I get to learn so much every day. I've always been, in the community, in a BIPOC community, so it's great to just see the different effects that our communities have with climate and that we don't know about. I feel like being from Richmond, a lot of times I didn't take into account being so close to Chevron and things of that nature.
Right. Can you tell me a little bit more about that of like the
Yeah,
like being near Chevron and just their, experience with being impacted by climate change and environmental injustices?
for sure. So I live actually in the center of Richmond, and so Chevron sits in Richmond on about 3,000 acres of land. And so it's so interesting. Growing up, me and all of my siblings have allergies, and so I never took into account just the pollution and the things that change the climate and the things that affect us and how it affects our bodies. And so I was doing a little research, and people were discussing that it can affect cancer, it can affect asthma. And it's so funny because my little brother growing up, he had asthma really bad. And so a lot of times we find these things in our communities, in BIPOC communities. And so it's very just good to be and have the information and know where we are, knowing how things are affecting us, to be able to do more. And so working at a climate justice this company now, I've been able to be in conversations where people are trying to change and doing projects and seeing why this is happening. And it's always centered in Louisiana, in Richmond, in Michigan, in communities where we are.
Right. No, that's so important. And I agree about like being here, you're learning so much along the way, and then being able to connect it back to your experiences and history and
Yeah.
being, wow, I didn't
Yeah.
realize these are connected. And then just from us doing the work, being able to like share that education and
Yes.
that knowledge is definitely.
For sure.
Like along those lines, of like how, both of our experiences with climate justice are different, but also similar.
Yeah.
Um, why do you think that this work and like climate justice in general matters to everyone? So not just like people who are already working in the field
Yeah.
or doing like the research, which is very, very important, but also why do you think that this is something that everyone should care about?
I think a lot of times it's something that we don't think about. We get caught up in our day to day life, and it's just like, oh, like I'm coughing when I go outside, but we don't really take into account maybe what it could be, what could be in the air. I know here a couple years ago we had really, really bad fires, and there were people that got really, really sick, and they were like, what's going on? And so it's important to everybody because it affects everybody. And a lot of times we don't take that into account. And so working at this company has really opened my eyes because it's little things that I didn't even think about that now I do. And then you read articles, you see things on the news, and you're like, oh, what's going on with this? Why is this important? And you see these different cities, and you could live in one of them. And so it hits home for everyone. Even if you haven't seen a place that you live in, it's like a place that you might want to travel to. And so it's something that everyone on this earth is, being affected by because climate is changing every single day.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I also want to shout out that we have a report on our website from one of our staff
Yes.
members, Julie Horst, who did a lot of like research on just the ways that these pre-existing conditions also
Yeah.
affect our community specifically and
Mm-hmm.
increases the vulnerabilities of climate
Yeah.
change. So that's
Yes.
something to check out for sure. A lot of information there. Um, but along those lines, also, so I think that I feel similarly of I didn't necessarily like this is the first also job that I had that specifically focuses on climate justice, environmentalism. Although I've come from like other social justice
Yeah.
backgrounds. Um, I think that given that, and given as well that you said that this is your first time as well, what advice would you give people on like the ways that they can support? Because like I said, there's like definitely different ways you can show
For
up,
sure.
and so there's always right.
For sure. I think it starts with just like the knowledge and understanding and just watching something that maybe relates to you. We here at Just Solutions do a webinar and a podcast, and a lot of times we have a bunch of different topics that people might be interested in one and not the other. And so that's kind of how you start your base in knowledge. And that's how I've grown. There's been a lot of different conversations and things I've been able to surf on our website just to understand like, oh, this topic, like I saw this on the news, but I didn't really have the full knowledge. And just being around people that have that conversation, because a lot of times the things that we're asking about day to day are affected by climate justice and environmental justice, and it's happening in our community. So it's just something that we want to be aware of. Like we'll have health conditions, we'll go to the doctor and they'll be like, oh, have you been outside? Are you a smoker? And things of that nature, but not have you worked at the refinery for the last 30 years, something of that nature. So I think it's just definitely something to just be aware of, even if it's very, very surface level. It's something to take into account because it's good knowledge and it affects everyone.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. And really, from my experience of like, what the thing that I have the most skill in and experience in is like this communications
Yeah.
work, right? The digital. Um, and I show up for like climate justice work and efforts by like providing that
Yeah.
offering of like
Mm-hmm.
infographics
Yeah.
and the stuff on social media. And I know that you have experience in doing like similar digital work
Yeah.
as well. So it is all about like thinking about what your expertise may be and then tying it somehow back
Mm-hmm.
to the work because like you said, it is relevant to
Yeah.
everyone. So
For sure.
awesome. All right. So
Can you hear me? It looks like your connection. Let's see. I think I can hear you. Yeah.
okay. Not sure what was that side. Um trying to make sure I remember where it was. Okay.
Yeah.
So You're here at Just Solutions. Tell us what you like most about your job.
I like that I learn every day. I like that no day is the same. I'm always meeting someone new. Yeah, I learn a lot. It's a lot of different facets that go into this work that you would never think, to be around lawyers every day that talk about policy, to think about that where I'm in California and Sacramento is, an hour away, and a lot of work happens there. It's just good to kind of be tapped in with Brandon doing work in Sacramento, just things of that nature. I feel like I learn a lot that I wasn't in the conversation. Are you back? I'm back.
Connecting it, being able to like talk to other the experts on our team and
Yeah,
whatnot.
for sure. Just because being an executive assistant, you talk to everyone on the team. Everyone needs, a meeting here, a meeting there. And so it's good to be in that conversation and learn.
Awesome. Okay, well, is there anything that you're looking forward to this year? Would love to hear if there's like stuff that we're doing or that you're doing, and also
Yeah.
like in general, if there's stuff that you're excited about for 2024.
Yeah. I am moving to Texas, so I'm really, really excited about that, just to learn about climate justice issues there. We had a call about 2 weeks ago, and a lot of the people were talking about being from Dallas and Austin and just the climate justice issues that are going on in Texas. I saw a couple people are on here from Texas, so I'm just excited to learn more about what's going on in the U.S. versus just California, because I know a little bit about here. So I'm excited to expand my knowledge.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely get that Texas
Yeah.
representation. I don't know if you are the only one on staff from like going to Texas, living in Texas, but
Well, Brandon's from Texas, so we'll see.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. Awesome. Is there anything else you want to like add or share to our live stream today?
No, just excited to be here. Really enjoyed this.
Awesome. I thank you so much for doing this live stream and
Of
being with
course.
us. I'll go ahead and close this out. I want to thank again everyone who showed up to the live stream and joined us today. You can check out our work that our team is doing on our website, JustSolutionsCollective.org. And you can stay informed on all of our activities on our social media channels that are linked in our bio. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, Jamise and everyone. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye.